A lofty promise indeed. Standing between Schembechler, Michigan, and a Big Ten championship was Bo's mentor, Woody Hayes, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Hayes, defending national champions, boasted a roster full of All-Americans. Fullback Jim Otis and quarterback Rex Kern spearheaded the Buckeye offense, while safety Jack Tatum and defensive tackle Jim Stillwagon anchored a stingy Buckeye defense.
I firmly believe that the overall talent on the 69 team, as Woody has said time and time again, that 69 team was the best football team he ever had.
Not getting your yardage, and we're coming up 3rd and 5. We're lucky we got by that time. But you just get that first down and we'll get...
They were a tremendous football team. They accomplished things that we never did, and you have to give them credit for the football team that they were. They were one of the best college football teams ever assembled. Their talent level from top to bottom was better than ours. It was better than I think anybody in the country.
Penn State's 2-0 start had the Nittany Lions sitting at number 2 in the polls, trailing only Woody Hayes and Ohio State, who cruised through their non-conference schedule with ease, demolishing Texas Christian 62-0 and roughing up Washington 41-14.
Columbus was on fire in 1969 because now they're running a winning streak that goes clear back to the last 4 games of the 1967 season. Ohio State has never had back-to-back national championships, and of course that looks like a sure thing to most fans.
Sitting atop the rankings were the Ohio State Buckeyes, who looked unstoppable in their first 2 Big Ten games. The Scarlet and Gray thrashed Michigan State 54-21 and followed that performance with a 34-7 blowout win over Minnesota. While Michigan seemed to be finding their stride, the top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes were running at full speed, annihilating Illinois 41-0 in Columbus.
Well, as the season went along, the momentum kept building, and are we going to win a second undefeated national championship? Is this the greatest team of all time? Is this Ohio State team the greatest college team ever assembled in the first 100 years of college football?
The Scarlet and Gray were undefeated, untied, and unbelievable. Michigan's resurgence barely registered in Columbus, where the Buckeyes continue to march through the conference schedule.
There's no question in my mind or my teammates' mind that we felt we would win every football game that we played.
Wins on the road at Northwestern and at home over Wisconsin only added to the bravado on campus, as Woody Hayes and the Buckeyes were just 2 wins away from another national championship.
Before the afternoon is over, Ohio State will defeat Wisconsin 62-7, 9 touchdowns, 6 different players will score those 9 touchdowns. The Buckeyes run up 62 points, and their starting quarterback doesn't even play the entire game.
A lot of these games, you were in the game only for a couple series before the game was, the offense took over, and you're 3 plays and out a couple times, and the next thing you know, the game's over with. They kind of give up or whatever it is, and by the start of the 3rd quarter, you're on the bench.
A few hundred miles to the south, Ohio State kept the same focused routine that had elevated them to the top of the college football world.
Come on, sprint now. Come hard, boom it.
When it comes to Monday before the Michigan game, of course, the Ohio State team has already prepared quite a bit for Michigan, but it's a week like no other, whether it's 1969 or whatever season it is. Coach Hayes would never call the state of Michigan, Michigan. It was always that team up north.
With so much at stake, members of the media began to hype the matchup between Schembechler, the pupil, and Woody Hayes, the mentor.